Imagine a woman so mysterious that kings, ministers, and powerful men forgot who they were just by looking at her. A woman who turned illusion into power and secrecy into survival. But what happens when the world finally discovers who you really are? Welcome to your channel, where we uncover untold stories, hidden truths, and the psychology behind history's most fascinating lives. If you enjoy deep, emotional storytelling like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because every story here reveals something about you. Tonight, we step into the shadows of Paris to uncover the veil of truth. It was a cold February night in Paris, 1905. A private building, no public entry. A sign outside read, "By invitation only." Inside, power gathered. Crystal chandeliers flickered softly above polished marble floors. Ivory sculptures stood frozen in silent elegance. Paintings watched from the walls as if they knew what was about to happen. Nearly 60 men sat waiting. Ministers, diplomats, bankers, men who controlled nations, economies, and destinies. Among them, a journalist, a man who believed he had seen everything. He was wrong. The curtain rose. The lights dimmed. And then she appeared. A woman wrapped in silk and gold-threaded fabric, unlike anything Paris had ever seen. Her design whispered of temples, rituals, forgotten worlds. And over her face, a veil. She stood, still, too still, long enough for discomfort to creep into the room. Then the music began, not European, not familiar. It carried the pulse of distant lands, echoes of jungles, temples, and ancient stories. And then she moved, not like a dancer, like a language. Her body wrote poetry in the air, her fingers spoke secrets, her eyes burned behind the veil, like fire waiting to be seen. And then she removed it, not just the cloth from her face, but the illusion between herself and the world. Before them stood a name that would soon echo across Europe: Mata Hari, the Eye of the Day. Gasps filled the room. One man dropped his glass, another forgot to breathe. The journalist would later write, "That night, I no longer believed goddesses lived only in temples. Sometimes they walk among us." But what none of them realized was that the greatest illusion had just begun. The next morning, Paris was no longer the same. Newspapers printed her image. Magazines chased her story. Everyone asked the same question: who is she? And Mata Hari answered, but never the same way twice. She said she was a princess from Java. She claimed she was raised in sacred Indian temples. She spoke of dancing beside the Ganges, of royal blood, of ancient rituals. Each interview, a new story, each detail more mysterious than the last. And people believed her, not because it was true, but because they needed it to be. Europe at the time was changing. Everything was becoming modern, mechanical, predictable. And people longed for something they couldn't understand. They longed for mystery. And Mata Hari became that mystery. Cities opened their doors: Berlin, Vienna, Milan. Everywhere she went, the same ritual unfolded, the same veil, the same dance, the same unspoken message: I am not like you. And that made her powerful. She earned wealth. She gained independence, something rare for women in her time. She controlled her narrative, her identity, her world. But there is one truth about illusions: they must be maintained, and every illusion eventually cracks. Europe was burning in World War I. Fear replaced fascination. Trust became a luxury no one could afford, and mystery became dangerous. French authorities raided Mata Hari's home. She was accused of being a spy, a traitor, a woman who danced for secrets, not just for applause. A trial began. Witnesses spoke, documents were presented, and then a single file was read aloud in court. A name that shattered everything. Margaretha Zelle. Born in the Netherlands, daughter of a merchant, not a princess, not a goddess, just a girl. The courtroom fell silent. The illusion was gone. Margaretha Zelle arrived in Paris in 1904 with just 50 francs. She was not special, not at first. She was one of many young women chasing dreams, hoping to be seen, to be remembered. But Margaretha understood something others did not. In a world where everything is visible, power belongs to what is hidden. So she created Mata Hari, not just a persona, but a mystery. She never revealed everything. She changed constantly. She stayed just out of reach. And that made her chase. Because what cannot be understood feels powerful. But here is the danger. When people fall in love with your mystery, they may never accept your truth. Dawn, Vincennes Forest, 5:30 a.m. A firing squad stood ready. 12 soldiers, rifles raised. Margaretha Zelle stood before them. No veil, no costume, no illusion, just herself. She did not beg, she did not cry. She stood the way she once stood on stage, unshaken. When the bullets struck, there was no scent of the East, no trace of the goddess, only the quiet truth of who she had always been, a woman who wanted to be seen. Even today, when something mysterious appears before us, we stop, we stare, we want to know more, because mystery is rare. And in a world where everything is exposed, it becomes powerful. But Mata Hari's story teaches us something deeper. Mystery can elevate you, but it can also isolate you. It can make the world admire you, but never truly understand you. So ask yourself, if you removed every mask, every illusion, would the world still look at you? And more importantly, would you still recognize yourself? Margaretha Zelle became Mata Hari because the world rewards what it cannot fully see. She conquered Europe with mystery, but lost her life when that mystery disappeared. And maybe that is the greatest truth of all. People don't fall in love with reality, they fall in love with the story. If this story made you think, see the world differently, or question something within yourself, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Comment below, do you think mystery is power or a dangerous illusion? This is your channel, where stories are not just told, they are felt. And I'll see you in the next story.